What's up? What's up, guys? It's 11, almost 11 o'clock on Thursday, August 15th, 2024. We're making another video. Yeah, I was sick as a dog earlier this week, and thankfully I'm feeling better now. I don't know what happened to me. I think I either got the flu or was just run down from posting my videos and not getting enough sleep. So I'm just super happy that I'm feeling better, and I hope you guys are doing great. I got my dad's watch on today. We got the GMT Rolex thing is beautiful. It's from, I think it's 89 maybe. He's wearing mine right now, so I'm wearing his. It's cool to be able to swap watches and stuff. But yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin and just go from there. So we're going to look at Reddit today, and we're going to just educate myself on what's going on in the news and what Bitcoin's going to do in the future. So let's get started.
Countries around the world are grappling with an unprecedented debt crisis as governments borrow heavily to support their economies. Global debt has skyrocketed from $226 trillion in early 2022 to $315 trillion today, a massive increase in just over 2 years. National debt is composed of corporate, household, and government debt. Corporate debt involves companies borrowing from banks or investors to grow. During the pandemic, many companies took on debt at low interest rates, but as rates have risen to 5.5%, these zombie companies struggle to repay loans. Consumer debt, including credit card and student loans, has surged as people borrow more to cope with economic pressures. However, the largest contributor to national debt is government debt, used to fund expenses and development projects. Economists measure this debt against a country's GDP with a
I felt like I was in Ibiza. Okay, so Goldman Sachs reveals over 400 million in Bitcoin ETF holdings. Oh, so you didn't know about it until they had to put it on their books and show everyone what they had. They've been sneakily buying and buying. I saw this earlier and thought it was interesting. Let's assume $1 million. Let's assume 1 million USD might be enough for retirement today. Here's the amount of Bitcoin you may want to have to retire on Bitcoin. If you already have some Bitcoin, just match the nearest number or average of the previous and next number, and you get the idea when you can become retired with your Bitcoin. This is not financial advice. Again, none of the stuff I say is financial advice. Any amount of Bitcoin is great and can help. This is just a way to stay motivated, stay humble, stack sats, and enjoy. Point 1, retirement in 160 years. Point 2, retirement in 62 years. Point 5, retirement in 32 years. 1, retire in 16 years. 2, retire in 8 years. 3 Bitcoin, retire in 5.3 years. 4 Bitcoin, retire in 4 years. 5.5 Bitcoin, retire in 2.9 years. 11 Bitcoin, retire in 1.5 years. 16, retire this year. 21, retire this year as well. When I look at the above, I think every new child deserves to have at least 0.21 Bitcoin. Think about it before having a child. I suggest 0.5 Bitcoin if you're around 30 years old. If you are much older, consider 1 or more. If 1 million USD is not enough, multiply the numbers based on your needs. My linear calculations and experience. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I look at these numbers and I just wish it was high school and I was lifeguarding and I put every single paycheck into Bitcoin. But the thing is, I don't think I would have held on to it back then and not knowing what I know now. Again, this is not financial advice. I think if I bought it at, $1 to $1,000, I probably would have sold it at $10,000. I would have not really seen the bigger picture, and I would have just done what I would do with stocks and just try to make some money and move on to the next thing. I mean, these you got to see these investments at as 10, 20, 30, 40 plus year investments. So thank you, Real Back to the Future. I appreciate your insight on this. And it really breaks it down into just, you don't need a ton of Bitcoin to have a potentially great life. And the thing of it is, you know, all these people are, everyone's so concerned about retirement. And I think that's the wrong way to look at things. I think the thing that you want to, I don't want to, I always want to work. I always want to be doing something. I just want to be free. And I had this conversation with my dad the other day. I just want to be free. I want to be able to come and go as I please. I want to be able to afford the things that I want. I want to be able to go on the vacations that I want, but I want to be free. I don't want to be subject to, working for someone else. I want to work for myself. I don't want to worry about, my 401k going up or down because of my company doing something illegal or, doing something stupid investment wise, or the market just tanking. I want to be free. And I think that's a great goal in life, is to be free and to be able to come and go as you please and have fun. All right, we're going to watch this.
Is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally.
So we have the strongest economy. We have something backing the dollar that's keeping our economy afloat and keeping us prosperous. And what do we want to do? We want to take our dollar off the gold standard. For what?
To suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
Yeah, definitely not in the best interest of anyone.
Now, what is this action, which is very technical, what does it mean for you? Let me lay to rest the bugaboo.
I can't watch it. It just pisses me off. Here, let me go to the top. Hot. I love this meme. Them. So you just save in Bitcoin and focus on your craft? Yes, it's a peaceful life. I'm telling you, I've been one of those people that has always been a defector their whole life, and I don't mean that by saying like I'm a bad kid or like get into trouble. I just see how most people follow the crowd, and I want to do the opposite of the crowd. I want to be the person that is, buying an asset when no one else thinks it's a good call to buy. I want to be the person that goes out of the way to open up the door for the old lady or the elderly lady that's walking into the street, walking into the store. Like I'm tired of this herd mentality that we have, and I just think you need to make your own decisions and be your own person. And especially with this, just figure out what brings you peace and calamity. The correct and successful financial strategy under the fiat standard is to constantly take on as much debt as possible, be meticulous about making all payments on time, and use the debt to buy hard assets that generate future returns. Doing this successfully improves your credit score and allows you to borrow at lower rates while you store your wealth in goods that cannot be inflated as easily as fiat. The fiat system thus taxes savers and subsidizes borrowers. The fiat standard encourages everyone to live fragile lives and take substantial financial risk. The alternative is a slow, continuous bleeding of wealth. And that's from Safedin Ammous, the fiat standard.
Do you ever?
If your portfolio value doesn't look like this, then you're doing it wrong. Yeah, that looks like Bitcoin, and it looks like it's following the halving cycles.
What does it mean for the United States to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve?
Hopefully
How would this impact the financial position of the country? And how would it affect Bitcoin? Let's take a step back and explain what a strategic reserve is and why Bitcoin is an interesting reserve asset. A strategic reserve is when a government or business stockpiles specific materials to help when unexpected events arise. Examples of strategic reserves are food, water, oil, metals, minerals, medication, and now Bitcoin. If a government holds onto a surplus in food and water, it can help the population in times of natural disasters or war. So why would a government want to hold Bitcoin? What strategic benefits could be gained from that? Let's take the example of the United States to explain. The U.S. national debt is over $35 trillion today. Last year, over $1 trillion in taxpayer money went towards paying off just the interest on this debt. Anything that can help the U.S. pay off its debt strengthens the financial position of the country. One way to strengthen your position is by holding assets that increase in value over time. If this happens faster than new money is being printed, then it could help a country pay off a larger amount of debt in the future. The orange line represents how Bitcoin has grown by an average of over 60% per year for the past 10 years.
Crazy.
Bitcoin's value grows so fast because it has a limited supply of 21 million, making it more scarce than gold, currencies, and other stores of value. This supply can't be changed. You would have to convince the vast majority of the network participants that the Bitcoin they hold will become worth less, and they won't agree to that.
Nope.
Many people have tried to create copies of Bitcoin, but these never got close to having the same network effects. One country that already has a strategic Bitcoin reserve is El Salvador.
Yep, and
it holds around 5,800 Bitcoin, worth around $340 million, and has made a profit of 38%, or around $50 million so far. The United States already owns 213,246 Bitcoin today, more than any other country, by confiscating it from the Silk Road marketplace and funds stolen from the exchange Bitfinex. If the U.S. could obtain 5% of all the Bitcoin supply, for example, this could help to pay off a significant portion of the national debt. If more countries create a strategic Bitcoin reserve, the price is impacted more. So being among the first countries to adopt it can be a great strategic move to increase your wealth relative to other countries. It forces all countries to consider this decision or risk being left behind. Bitcoin and all of its individual holders also benefit from this adoption, as owning and using it will keep getting easier over time.
Yep, definitely. That was a good video. Yeah, I wonder, I'm really curious about this. Maybe this thread will shed some light on this, because I don't understand why the price isn't moving with all these people that are just pumping in millions and millions of dollars. So Savannah said, I keep seeing that Morgan Stanley bought 156 million of Bitcoin. BlackRock has absurd amounts. Who is liquidating bags to them? Their bags to them. Institutions seem to buy absurd amounts, but the price never moves. The individuals that held on for so long are finally liquidating to pay for their retirement. With prices now firmly between $56,000 to $70,000, it's a good time for long-term holders that aren't making a salary to sell some Bitcoin to buy houses or basically pay for their lives. Could just be hodlers, grayscale people, Mt. Gox people, etc. This is all good thing. We need all these long-term holders who want to sell their coins for profit to exchange them with people that are ready to hodl again for another 4 to 6 years. It's how it all works, and honestly, how money should work. You should hold on to it until you need to pay for something. Yeah. Yeah, I guess Miguel has a good point. Latest figure I searched puts daily Bitcoin trading volume at almost 30 billion. So Morgan Stanley buying 156 million worth is only 0.5% of that. It's a drop in the bucket. Yeah. It does take, yeah. 1.2 trillion market cap, it's going to take some time. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to pause the video for now. I'll come back and make another one later on. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I can say, again, and this is not financial advice, but the more and more that I research about Bitcoin, the more and more the math makes sense, the more and more, other people, institutions are buying it. If we have a strategic national reserve of, however many coins, and that price continues to rocket and other countries do the same, I mean, sky's the limit with the price. And it's not more so about the price. It's more so about what it does for the world, what it does for the country. It could potentially help reset everyone's debt. And I'm not saying like right off the books, but there needs to be a unified currency in the world. We don't need to be having all these different currencies and all these different exchanges. We just need to use one sound money, and I think Bitcoin is that opportunity for everyone. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day, and stay tuned.